there, Bootstrappers. This is Ryan Nickel, and this is Bootstrap REI, and this is another day in the life of a real estate bootstrap investor, or a bootstrap real estate investor, however you want to say it. It's actually bootstrap real estate investor. That's what it is. And this is episode number 33 coming at you. So yesterday I had a call with one of my students, and he has a lot of SEO, and he had this deal come in, and I wanted to go ahead and show you exactly, when you get a lead, what is it that you're looking for if you're trying to do a subject to deal and something like that? Or, what are the options that you have available if this particular situation is presented to you? So I'm going to let you listen to this call. It is about 6 to 7 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and come back and analyze it after the fact. But let me go ahead and get this thing rolling, and we'll let you guys go ahead and take a look at that call. So probably the best way is to check it out. All right, so here we go. Here's a call. That just didn't work.
There was another lady that right after that, she went on another pay-per-click, so 8:50 last night, so I talked to the lady. She lives in Sacramento. She has a condo she owns outright. She wants to sell it fast so she can move to Roseville.
You're going to hear my kids in the background. Okay, so what you know so far is that it's a townhome, and they're selling for $210, and it's worth $190. So we'll go from there.
Maybe a little less. She's all, make the offer. So well, let me do a little homework, get back to you. So I don't know if there's an opportunity here, but she does own it outright. The HOA dues are just shy of $300 a month on the thing.
Yeah, good luck.
But it's
Yeah, okay, so that's the thing with condos and townhomes. $300 a month. I mean, so if you're looking to cash flow this thing, man, there goes, bam, $300 right off the bat going to the HOA fees. I'm not a big fan of HOAs. They require a lot, and it's not a cool thing for me to give $300 a month. I mean, obviously it's part of the expense, but when you have a mortgage on top of that, it makes it very cost prohibitive to cash flow these things. But let's continue.
yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't think there's anything there, but I just, since you asked me, I threw that out there.
No, that's fine. I mean, that's the challenge with HOAs, with condos and townhomes, is you have these huge HOA fees that make it, rent prohibitive from a landlord perspective. So, taking that in consideration, let's say that how many bedrooms is it? Listen.
It is I think it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath.
Oh man, I love it. I love these people, man. Hey, I got this 1-bedroom, 1-bath townhome. I got a $300 a month HOA fee. It's a screaming deal. I want $190,000 for it. Now, it's in Sacramento, but you'll come to find out it's not in the most desirable part of Sacramento. So, yeah, this is great.
134 square foot, but it's got a 1-car attached garage, which not all the units in the complex have that.
Saving grace, 1-car garage.
Okay.
800 square feet.
So I mean, let's just call it what it is. Let's say the rent on a 1-1 is $800 a month. Where's it at? You said it's in where? Elk Grove?
It's in Sacramento. It's on 1900 Danbrook Drive.
Whoa, where's that at?
Unit 115.
Take some notes. Get that lead down there right now, guys.
Whatever that's in.
Get on that thing.
Yeah, I looked at it. I had so many things going on last night. I got discombobulated. I'm trying to think if that was, I forget what part of Sac it is. I have to go look now.
So I actually looked this one up.
To me, it didn't seem like anything was there other than the fact that she does own it free and clear, and if you could get her to take, and she didn't, she put money into.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there because I go into a lot more detail with the gentleman. So here's the thing. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, $300 a month HOA fee, and she's asking $190 and they're selling for $210. So not a whole lot of discount. But what we find out is that where this is located at is actually in a very At first I thought I'm like, this is a crappy part of town. It's actually in a very, convenient part of town. It's in an area of Sacramento called Natomas, and it's right next to the 5, and so you're able to get on and off the freeway. You're close to downtown. You can do a lot of stuff. So one bedroom really is like, it's not that undesirable. When I looked up rents for a 1 bedroom in that area, I was actually really surprised that they were $1,300 a month is the average for a 1 bedroom. Now I don't know the condition of this place, so I was like, wow, shoot, let's just go with it. Being optimistic. Let's just say you can get $1,300 a month on it. She owns it free and clear. Now here's the challenge that's really going to come into play here is like, what are the taxes and what are the insurance? Now there's an HOA, so your insurance costs are going to be relatively low because the HOA covers a lot of your exterior on that, but you still are going to have some kind of insurance on the property. I would want to verify that as well. So let's just assume that that's the case, and then you have your taxes on top of that. So your cash flow on this is not going to be all that great. So let's say it's $1,000 a month, and you're at automatically. Or excuse me, it's at $1,300, but you're already taken down to $1,000 because you had that $300 HOA fee. Now, what is she willing to take? Now, you have to keep in mind you have taxes and insurance, and so that's where we're at on this particular one. So what we did was I actually drafted up. I said, look, you know what? Let's just set them a three option letter here. And you like my black fingertips? I've been playing some guitar. I'll show you that. What? Look at that guitar going on. That's how I actually think through these things. I just put my guitar on and start jamming out, and just like the ideas will come. So anyway, back to the story at hand here. So we're just going to put together a 3-option letter. We're going to do an all cash price for this home. I mean, about $100,000, $105,000, $115,000 is probably what we'll be at for the all cash price. So that's option number 1. Option number 2 is, hey, you know what? Straight up, you own this thing. You want $190,000. Let's do it. Bam. $190,000 divided by 240 is $791. Almost $800. That may not work. I don't know. But that's a 20-year note, just principal only payments. So that's one option. The other option would be like, hey, you know what? Let's straight up do this. Well, 190. Maybe I wouldn't do 190 if she's asking for 190. Do 180. So 180 divided by 240, 750. It's a little bit more doable because at that point we're able to cash flow just a little bit. We can turn around owner finance this to somebody else, and see where we're going with it. So that would be my other option. My other option then would be to maybe a lease option with her. Let's say, hey, we'll do a lease option on this thing. We got to find out though on the condos if it's what the percentage is for landlords versus owners, because if it's more than 20% landlords, you're going to have a very tough time finding finance for that. So if it's less than 20% landlords, in other words, that it's predominantly owner-occupied, so more than 80% owner-occupied, then you have a very good chance of being able to get financing for this particular home or this townhome. So those are the things that we have at play. So anyway, we'll put together a 3-option letter: cash, seller finance, and then a lease option, and just roll with it from there. We need to dive in also and find out what's the pain here. What's the issue? What is causing them to want to sell now versus later, and all of that stuff. But anyway, that's how we analyze the deals. And again, this is this student's first real kind of like initial phone calls. You heard he's like, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to you. Need to talk to my partners. Need to work my magic. Need to pencil things out. There's a lot of things that newbie investors will say to get off the phone because they don't know the answer. They don't want to be found out that they're new. And so as you become more familiar with this, you're going to talk to a lot more investors, and you're just going to know that these are the questions you need to ask and get answered in the first call, if possible. Some of them might be a little bit more tricky because you're asking about how much do you own the property, what's your monthly payment on that, how come you're behind on the payment. Sometimes they'll let you know that, sometimes they won't. So anyway, it all comes down to comfortability and skill and ability to close over the phone, and not necessarily close them to do the deal, but close them to the next step. You got to figure out what's that next step. What do I want to do? In this particular case, we actually want to go and look at the property, find out what our motivation is for actually wanting to sell it. So anyway, this is how we analyze the deal. I got to head out. We're going to go look at a property today. I'm going to go walk a property and get it into contract and make some money. Anyway, this is Bootstrap Real Estate Investing, and I'm Ryan Nickel, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.